from care and worry. Start your day with Handsome Jim Perry on Card Sharks. And here is Handsome Jim Perry.
Thank you. What a nice opening poem. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. That intelligent poem was sent in by Starts Your Day with Handsome Jim Perry, Eleanor Albright of Hot Springs, Arizona, and I make house calls, Eleanor. Thank you very much. And now let's get to the cards. Janice and Bettina, if you will, load in the cards, please. We have a game in progress with these Card Sharks. Our champion, Buck Craver. Hi, Buck. Good to see you again, sir.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Our champion from Texarkana. I didn't ask you how old you are. Do you mind if somebody asks you a question?
No, I'll be glad to tell you because I'm happy that I'm 77 years old.
Isn't that nice? You had to make a little money to pay for the trip coming down here.
I surely did.
And you have. You've won so far $3,950 in
Well,
cash.
that's wonderful. That is wonderful.
You're a nice gentleman. Good to have you back.
Thank you, sir.
And our challenger we're greeting again, Becky Greenfield. Hi, Becky. Good to see you. And we only met you once, so for new viewers, let's tell us a little more about yourself.
Okay, my name is Becky Greenfield. I'm from Cerritos, California, originally from a little town called Osceola, Nebraska. I'm one of triplet daughters, and I'm a part-time recreation and arts and crafts specialist for the city of Bellflower.
And you're off the hook, right? Because you've won one game, so you've won $100. What does that pay for?
Pays for my parking ticket I got for the interview and my dress I wore.
Yeah, they told me about that parking ticket, Becky. Good luck to both of you. Each player has a deck of 52 playing cards. They're shuffled. The players cut them before we go on the air. Buck, the champion, plays the upper cards, the red cards. And Becky, the challenger, the lower cards, the blue cards. And as this game is in progress, Buck needs 2 cards. Becky needs 3. But we play the best 2 out of 3, and Becky leads 1-0. So, Buck, you need this game.
I
As we
surely
left off, question goes to you, sir. We asked 100 housewives if a neighbor offered to pay you $100 a week to clean her house, would you do it? How many housewives said they would do it?
The neighborhood in which I live, Jim, I live in the house that I have all the time since I've been married. I don't think we could get very many neighbors, about 16.
16 neighbors would say, yeah, they would clean the house, $100.
I think $100 is a lot of money. I'd do it for $100. I'd say it's higher than that.
You say higher than that?
Sure.
If it is higher, you'll go to the board first, Becky. If not, it'll be Buck. And the actual number of housewives who would clean their neighbor's house for $100 a week is 40. It's higher, Becky. Yes. Becky, we left off with a base card of a 9. Whenever you win the question,
my base card.
you have the right to change it, and she will. Changing the 9 to a 6. Little better card.
Okay, higher.
Higher than a 6? No, it's a 5. It's not higher. That gives Buck a chance to play off the 7. You didn't win the question. You cannot change it. Buck, what's this?
Jim, I think it'll be higher.
Higher than a 7? No, it's a 6. And neither player could advance. Janice will fill in the spaces, and we go to the 4th and final question, sudden death. Someone has to win with this play of the cards. Becky, we took a confidential poll of 100 men who have dated a married woman and asked them, did you ever feel guilty about dating another man's wife? How many men said they did feel guilty?
I think most men would feel a little bit guilty dating another man's wife. So I think it's going to be relatively high. I'll say about 78.
78 said they feel guilty about dating another man's wife, Buck.
I think it'll be lower, Jim.
You say lower?
I think it'll be lower. A lot of men don't have much conscience.
Don't know. The actual number of men who did feel guilty about dating another man's wife is 34. You're right about the conscience, Buck. Buck, you need 2 cards. Becky needs 3 cards. You've got control. Do you want to play it or pass it, sir?
I'm going to pass it.
You'll pass it. Becky, you've got a 6. If you turn them all over, you're the new champion. One mistake and Buck has tied up the match. What is this?
The next one's higher.
Higher than a 6. No, right away it's a 2, and Buck has tied up the match in sudden death. So, each player with 1 game and $100 will set up for the tiebreaker. And in the tiebreaker, there'll be just 3 cards up there and 3 questions here. Someone's going to get a crack at the money cards. And the first question in the tiebreaker goes to you, Buck. We asked 100 men who are window washers on New York skyscrapers. For $500, would you be willing to make a parachute jump from an airplane? How many window washers on a skyscraper would be willing to jump from an airplane?
For $500? I think about 50 of them would, Jim.
50.
They're used to being up in
50 would be willing to jump from an airplane for $500, Becky.
I think because they're used to being up in the air that they would be a little higher than that even.
Even higher.
Yes. Higher
The
than
actual number of window washers who would be willing to jump from an airplane for $500 is 59, a little bit higher, Becky.
All right, come on, a good card now.
And Becky, we'll start with a base card for you that is an 8.
Change that.
You want to change that 8, and you'll change it to
That's
a queen.
a good card. Okay. Lower.
Lower than a queen. A 2. Higher for the championship. Yes, it is a king. We have a new champion. Becky done it. That's what she said. And Buck leaving us with $4,050. Thank you. You're a fine champion. Buck Kramer. Thank you, sir. Becky, come on down here. You sure you're not happy? Becky's going to try for the big money right after we take time out for this. Our happy champion, Becky Greenfield, got $200. That pays for another dress.
Oh, yes, at least one more.
Let's pay for a lot more right now.
I love it.
Let's open the board and get to the money cards. Come on, Becky. Hop on up there. Good card. That's the way to feel. Yes. $200 you won in the game. Yours to keep. Brand new cards, brand new money to play with. We'll give you $200 on that bottom line, and those 3 cards, bet them as you will. When you move up to the second level, we'll give you another $200 of betting money and 3 more cards. Minimum bets of $50 until you get to the top card, where you must bet at least half the money. You know there's a lot up there, Becky.
Yes, I do.
Take it away. Here's $200. As in the game, you have a choice of 2 base cards on the bottom level. You can change your base card when you move to the second level, and you can change it again before you make that big bet. With $200, Becky, you're starting with a 9.
I want to change that.
You can change
Gotta
it.
change and get a better card.
Gotta play this one. Let's
Come
hope it's
on,
better.
good one.
A 4.
That's a lot
Very much better.
I'm going to bet 200 it's higher.
Whole thing right away.
Whole thing right away.
$200. Higher than a 4. And she's right with a jack. Doubling it to 400.
I'm going to bet 300 it's lower.
$300 bet. Lower than a jack. Yes! A 6. $700, Becky.
Okay, I'm going to bet $100 it's higher than a 6.
$100 bet. Higher than a 6. Oh, no, it's a 5. She held back a little on that, Becky. Good job. As we move the 5 up, we'll give you the other $200 of betting money.
I want to change it.
You've got $800, and she wants
Come
to
on, a
change
good
the 5
card.
to a 10. Kind of a tough card.
$800. I'm going to bet 300 it's lower than a 10.
Let's get it much lower.
Come on,
$300 lower than a 10.
It
Here's the
is!
7.
All right.
That's $1,100, Becky.
Okay, I'm going to bet $100 it's higher than a 7.
$100 higher than a 7. Yes!
I'm going to bet all of it it's lower than an ace.
$1,200 bet. Lower than an ace. It is a 4. $2,400.
Okay,
Up goes the
put
4.
that card up.
Do you want to play that 4?
Yes, I'm going to play the
You
4.
must bet at least $1,200, Becky. You've got
I'm going to bet
$2,400.
all of it. All of it that it's higher than a 4.
All of it.
Please be higher.
All or nothing.
Come on.
Becky, you will have nothing or $4,800. If this is higher than a 4, and with the $200 in the game, Becky, that's an even $5,000. Come on down here. Oh, you're a gutsy bettor. So Becky's $5,000 richer, and we'll meet a new challenger in a moment. Right now, we'll take time out for this. Wait a minute. All set to go, Beck?
I'm ready.
2 brand new decks of cards and a new challenger on Card Sharks. Lou Hecker. Hi, Lou. Welcome. Good to have you here.
Hi.
Why don't you tell us about yourself, sir?
Sure. I'm a student at Cal State Los Angeles studying industrial studies, majoring in wood technology. I have my own business as a cabinet maker.
Wood technology.
Yeah.
College course in wood technology.
Learn how to make trees. No, really.
You going to continue making cabinets when you get out?
Yeah, I hope to.
Terrific. Sounds nice. Good to have you here with us.
Thanks.
Good luck, Lou. You'll play the lower cards, the blue cards. Becky, the upper cards, the red cards. And Becky, I find this a very interesting question. I'll be curious to find out the answer. Okay. We asked 100 men, would you object if the woman you plan to marry wanted to keep her maiden name? How many men would object?
I think that's part of the whole thing of getting married, to share your last name. I think they'd object. I think about 65 would object.
65 men would object, Lou.
I agree they would object. I think there would be a lot more. I'll say it's higher.
You say even higher than that?
Yes.
You think that whole idea is to share? Well, see, it depends on whether you're the sharer or the sharee, Becky, because she's giving hers up, remember? Let's find out. The actual number of men who will object if the woman they plan to marry wanted to keep her maiden name is 47. It's not higher, Becky.
Good.
Yeah.
Good cards now.
Men are a little more liberal than you thought.
All right.
Becky, you're starting with a
Good
3.
card. Next card is higher.
Higher than a 3. Yes, a queen.
All right. Next card's lower.
Lower than a queen. It is a 2.
Lower. Next card's higher.
Higher than a 2. Yes, a 3.
Next card's higher.
Trying to go all the way for the win. She hit it with a jack. Wow. Well, we'll set up for game 2. And I must say, Lou, boy, you played those cards so well that game, Lou.
That was so fast I couldn't even see it.
Well, this time we're starting with you, Lou, as we deal out the same 2 decks of cards. We asked 100 housewives across the country, when giving someone a favorite recipe, have you ever deliberately left out an important ingredient? How many housewives admitted they had deliberately left out an important ingredient?
Oh, I don't think that they would do something like that. I think they'd want their friends to try out their famous super duper dish. I think that would be a low, say 30.
30 have withheld an important ingredient, Becky.
I think it's even lower than that. I wouldn't. I want somebody to love the recipes I give out.
Okay, so you say lower. The actual number of housewives who had deliberately left out an important ingredient when giving someone a recipe is 4. Very much lower. Becky.
Well, it had to be.
Very much lower. And Becky, you're starting this time with an 8.
Change that. Don't want that 8.
Changing an 8 to an ace. Another good card.
The next card is lower.
Lower than an ace. It is a 10.
Okay, I'm going to take a chance and hope that the next card is lower than a 10.
Figures the cards are hot. Lower than a 10. And they are with a 6.
I'm going to freeze.
Freezing it. Becky needs 2 more for another crack at those money cards. Becky, we asked 100 single women. Would you marry a man who wanted you to work while he took care of the house? How many women said yes?
I'd do it. There's a lot of work around my house. I think it's going to be about 68.
68 would marry a man who wanted to take care of the house while she worked.
Oh, I don't think they'd go for that. I think the house is a woman's domain. I think it's lower.
Lower. Becky loved that answer, Lou. The actual number of women who would marry a man who wanted them to work while he took care of the house is 32. It's lower, Lou. Lou, you're finally going to get a look at the card now.
I'm ready for this.
And it is a 7.
Oh, I'd like to change that.
Changing the 7 to an ace.
Okay, the next one, lower.
Lower than an ace. It is an 8.
Oh. I think I'll freeze right there.
Raising it. Becky needs 2 cards. Lou needs 3. Question 3 to you, Lou. We asked 100 men. If we offered you double your salary, would you join the Army for a year? How many men said they would join the Army?
Oh, I'd do it. I think that would be a good majority today, whether it's with the way the Army is. 75.
75 would join the Army for
I don't know many that would want to go back to that kind of a strict life. I think it's lower.
You say lower. All I think of is the mud whenever I think of the Army. The actual number of men who for double their salary would join the Army for 1 year is 48. It's lower. Becky. You want that 6?
I'm going to change my 6.
Changing the 6 to a 5. A little better
Okay,
card.
that's a little better. Next card higher.
Higher than a 5. Yes, it is!
The next card's lower.
For the win, lower than an 8. Yes! Wow! Oh, those aces came up nice, Becky. Lou, I think she done you in quickly. We have some nice parting gifts for you. Thank you, Lou.
Thank you.
Lou Hecker. Thank you, Lou. Becky, come on down here. The gambling is ready to go again.
Woo! Come on, I'm a good card.
We'll get to the money cards, but first we're going to take time out to help pay for it.